Jake, are you as disturbed by that interview as I was, particularly the thinking, the stinking thinking?
I'm very disturbed by it on two levels. On the one hand, the very idea that it's okay, apparently in his mind, to touch a child's leg in the shower.
That's the stinking thinking I'm talking about. That's stinking thinking. There's something wrong with his motivation system right there.
Yeah. The second thing is, and I want to just play with this a moment with you, if I may present it to you. You know, in the beginning of becoming a child molester, when a person starts moving into that valence, they often don't realize until afterwards that something alien to their normal mentality is taking them over, and they'll do something that at the time they think is harmless, but in fact is a step after step after step that ultimately puts them in a situation of such temptation they lose control and molest. And only afterwards can they go back and retrace that pattern and say, it started back then and I didn't understand it. That's why I say it's a compulsion. It's not the same thing as saying the person is a child molester. It's the compulsion that is the molester, and it infects them, and the infection starts when they were abused.
This is something that happens to somebody that affects the rest of their life and affects future generations because it's transmitted.
Well, and that's the real issue. What's not resolved will be reproduced. And that's the great thing about Jake here, is that obviously he has dealt with these so-called demons. And obviously, in a perfect world, we'd love to get to these 5-year-old kids, but why the math and the statistics tell us that if we don't get to them, a lot of these, victims become predators. It's an awful cycle that we've got to find a way to end.
And Jake, I got to go to break, but one other thing is that people have to be motivated to get better. That's the hard part in this thing. They have to really want to get better. And like in any compulsion or addiction, getting them to sign on to that is sometimes the hard